All right, guys, so just a friendly reminder that you have on Monday after break, you have 1 through 10 and index cards due. On Tuesday, you have 11 through 20, Wednesday, 21 through 30 on outline due, and your test is on Thursday. Your focus and study guide is due then. So let's start, shall we? So physical development in infancy, there's 4 criteria of adjustment. The first time the baby takes the breath is the first time the what are used? Lungs. Ever. Beforehand, the mother's blood is carrying all the oxygen, so there's no reason for the lungs to work. When we talk about digestion, so as soon as the baby comes out, they put the baby straight on the mother's chest so they can hear the heartbeat. Once the baby hears a heartbeat and once the doctors have adjusted, they pick up the baby, bring it over, and they count the 10 fingers, 10 toes, check the eyes, clear the mouth, any of that, and then they put the baby back on the mother's chest and then to breastfeed. That is the first time the mouth's been used, the esophagus has been used, and digestion has actually occurred. So that's pretty cool. Circulation, huh? Circulation, once they cut the umbilical cord, all of the blood being pumped through the newborn is actually powered by the newborn. It's the first time it's ever happened, so that's pretty cool. Now, the heartbeat has been beating since the beginning, correct? You can't be alive if you don't have a heartbeat. However, the mother has subsidized all the other stuff except for the heartbeat, of course. Temperature regulation. Think about it. The baby is in 97 degrees, nice and warm. Everything's cool. Everything's been super regulated their whole life. And then they go through this little canal thing, and then it's freezing cold. So, huh? It is cold because the air conditioning and all that stuff. So once the baby comes out, they have this whole, like, for the first time, they have to regulate their own temperature. What is the first thing they do when a baby comes out?
Wrap it up in a blanket.
They wrap it up super, super tight because the more flesh on flesh you have, the warmer you are. So that's why they tuck in the baby bundle what the baby looks like underneath. They either pin their hands down or they pin it across the chest, depending on how old they are, how many weeks they are. Brand new baby, they're going to just do it right across the chest. And that mimics 2 things. It mimics the womb, where the baby is like super tight and kind of crunched in, and it also helps them regulate their temperature. So one of the first things we do, we obviously wipe them off. And then we wrap them in a blanket to help them regulate their temperature. And all of these things are the biggest things. They've never had to do any of these things, so it's pretty cool that way. So infants are born with reflexes. This is you, ladies and gentlemen. Babies are not born useless. They have certain skills. May I see your study guide? May I see your focus? Let's start there. All right, reflex. So the first, it goes in your box. You need to write suck in first box of your focus. It goes sucking, rooting, Moro, grasping, and the Babinski. So this is question number 1 on your focus, by the way. Go to your focus, don't do your study guide. Do your focus first. Write out all 5 of those right now, please. 4 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting quickly. What a boss. Last man.
So funny. You like worked it up, but it was like tiny little.
Is Babinski the small one?
Oh, I got you. I'm going to explain them all. I'm just letting you guys write it all down. Nice. Oh, damn it. All right. All right, so the first one is sucking. Okay, when we talk about the sucking, keep in mind the baby has never used its lip before, it's never used its mouth before, it's never used its esophagus before. So if it isn't a reflex, will a baby know, oh, I'm going to start sucking things down? No, that's not it at all. So have you ever put like your finger in a baby's mouth?
Yes.
And they just sit there and just go, and they just keep sucking on it? Okay, if you put anything in their hands, give them anything, they grab onto it, and then they put it in their hand, and they just sit there and just suck it. The reason is, which you're going to want to write down, is to allow them to eat the breast milk. Because if there is no sucking component, the baby isn't going to know how to eat. So the sucking thing is the whole use of their mouth and, of course, their esophagus to pull it down to their stomach. The rooting reflex is one of my favorite ones. The rooting reflex is if you touch a baby's cheek, write it down. Touch a baby's cheek, the baby turns its head that way because it's looking for a nipple. You need to write it down. So if you see like a little baby, 6 or 8, toss it all in the box. If you see a little baby and you just sit there and touch a cheek, the kid will sit there and do this for as long as you do it. It's a rooting reflex. They have no choice but to do it. And it's literally looking for a nipple. Because think about it, when you put a baby to breastfeed, it's just looking for the nipple. I don't think it goes like that, but it's looking for the nipple in order to feed. With that being said, it needs to find that touch. So you can just sit there and touch a baby's face and entertain them for hours. Just by
Are you
touching
entertaining them or are you torturing them?
Well, if they can't complain. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend. Dustin in the box, man. So that's the rooting. The moro is a startle reflex. What that means is when the baby is scared, it makes itself bigger. It pushes out its arms and its legs to make itself bigger. Think about it. If a bear is coming to eat a baby, is it going to look easier to eat if it's small or harder to eat if it's bigger?
It's like,
Yeah, sorry.
Either way, it's a big
Shush. It's still a baby and a bear, but this startle reflex is that it throws its hands up to make itself look bigger to predators. It's pretty cool. They do it all the time. That's why, when you clap in front of a baby and they go ah, and they start screaming.
I've never done that to a child.
Well, the parents probably wouldn't be proud, but you can test the theory. It works. Your next one is grasping. Anything that you put near a baby's hands are going to hold on to. Like, for instance, the worst thing, especially if you have long hair, is when they grab your hair.
Ew.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
That's
Especially because those hands have been everywhere and that they've just licked them and suck on them and then they're just in your hair and you're like, damn it, now I gotta wash my hair because this is disgusting. That would be the grasping. The reason is that they need to hold on to stability for certain things. Okay? They need to improve. Now, when you're born, you have some neural fibers firing, which means they can feel some things. Does that make sense? There's practically no feeling in their hands, which is why when you give things to babies, they grasp them really hard because only some of it can feel, not all of it. So if you ever grab a baby, they just kind of snatch things. And it's because they don't really have good control over their hands. They just don't. They also don't have control over their feet and stuff, which is why their feet always go 10,000 different directions, just because the neural fibers haven't reached it yet, and they're not fully firing. And then you have the Babinski, which is my favorite one.
I thought you said that.
No, I think the Babinski's fun to say. Say it. Babinski.
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 Babinski. Where I feel like I've seen that. Yes, that's what I was
that
thinking.
movie.
Were you scared of it too?
Yes.
That was not very scary.
She's a stupid button
Oh,
eyes.
I didn't get
They're
that.
so the kid's mouth shut. It's not good TV. Not a good show for kids.
What?
Maybe there's lessons to be learned here, Jude.
What? That Tim Burton makes weird movies?
Oh, no, that's true. I don't like his movies. I don't know. All right, I did like Edward Scissorhands. It's classic.
No, that's stupid.
Wow,
What an
He
argument.
goes around cutting bushes.
It was filmed
He's
in
an
Florida. It was filmed in Lutz, Florida.
Was it?
Yeah.
It
Edward
was.
Scissorhands.
Ew.
That's where he used to live.
Huh?
I
Okay.
used to live in Leeds.
No, Orlando.
You lied to us. You lied to us. Anyway, moving forward, I'm so glad we're recording this now. We were doing well, now we're not. So the Babinski
Oh my god. How much more
is a foot reflex. It's a foot reflex. What?
So swallowing isn't considered.
No. Yeah, no, it's a foot reflex. So if you touch a baby's foot, they kick. They kind of curl and kick. Why would a baby want to protect its feet? Think about it logically, Coker. Why?
Maybe.
Why would a baby want to protect its feet? Why would it be a reflex?
Because it wants to be bigger when it gets scared.
No.
I have no idea. Tickles?
You told me to think. Alright. That's the best I
It's
got.
because, guys, think about it. Are you able to protect yourself if you don't have feet?
No,
No, you can't protect yourself. You can't run away. So the Babinski is a kicking
Kicks.
reflex.
Babies
If you-
can't run away anyway.
That's
Guys, but if a bear eats their foot, then there's
basically what I just said.
So basically, babies can defend themselves with bears.
Yeah.
See a little stuff. A little baby
Bear
stuff.
versus baby.
By making
Guys,
a
I
sound,
am
go to the ground.
what, 5 hours away from vacation? Give me a break. Okay, I'm 5 hours away. I need vacation.
We're just 5 hours away from vacation.
This is work. I don't know if you noticed.
So let's not do stuff.
No, we're
Clearly,
working.
this better. It took so much work to make your foot up all the
It
time.
did. It did. All right, so the Babinski is a kicking reflex. It's supposed to do two things. It allows muscles to be building stronger and stronger in your legs because babies need to be able to start walking pretty quickly, correct? They start walking around 9 months. And so how we build up that strength is by doing the Babinski. And we also put them in the little jumping chairs where they sit in the chair and then they move their feet around and stuff like that. That's helping them build up muscle tone so they're able to carry their weight and stuff like that. So it's not, a lot of this stuff, except for like your straight up toys, has a bigger impact on the development status of a baby. So a lot of the things that you played with as little kids, like memory games, that's supposed to help you build up your memory. Because if you don't test your memory, are you ever going to have a good one? No. So a lot of your younger toys are actually academical. Jesus, I need
5
a vacation.
hours away from.
Academical.
When you said it, I didn't even think twice.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
thanks,
decent
man. Thank you. Anyway, so a lot of the things that your toys that you grew up with are supposed to help you develop mentally or cognitively. So they're supposed to be there to help you improve. What?
So all of those like war guns that I have.
No, that's toddler. I'm talking babies.
Wait, what were
At
those
toddler,
memory
they just
games?
wanted you to shut up because at that point you learned how to talk and you were probably annoying, correct? Have you ever listened to a little kid talk?
They literally don't.
Oh my God, they're the
Wait,
worst.
so
And
what-
Coker, I bet you were real bad.
No,
I bet you
that's
were real
straight
chatty.
I was
Chatty kid.
I was a
Okay.
very, I was a
Still
very
chatty.
pleasant
Well,
baby.
so-
John, I bet was a really quiet, loving, sweet little baby.
No,
You?
no, John and I go way back.
Oh, really? To the nursery that far?
That's John. John, is that right? Bingo. Right.
And he's regretting that.
Wait, so what would be like an example, like peekaboo? Like
No, that's something totally different, which I'm going to get to this week. Peekaboo's one of my
What's an
favorites.
application?
Not
for
this
reflexes?
week, next
Like-
week.
Reflexes,
No, not
it's
even
to
next week.
How
The
we
week
got
protect.
survived.
The week
It's to
after.
allow you to live beyond infancy.
Wait, how can peekaboo not be a memory game?
It's not.
Like, where am I? Oh, you
PJ.
live in my face
Object
now.
permanence.
It is!
Yeah.
Yes! We got to get to PJ. All right, here we go. So the senses, except for vision, are fairly well developed at birth. So what that means is your baby can't see your face really well. You're just like a cloudy figure that comes and feeds them.
Does it do like voice?
Yes, you can
That's
hear
how it
well.
identifies?
Yeah.
It's like Siri.
It's like Siri.
Can't
yeah.
see me.
That is such.
Baby bears and Siri all.
She can't hear me, but she can see me. Or she can't see me, but she can hear me.
Really.
Hey, Siri.
My Siri
Find
is
a child, you
my
just,
Siri
like,
is a
hey,
key.
Siri.
What is
Zero.
wrong with... How does that pop into your head immediately? Do you Siri that often?
Yes.
I don't
Hey
use it
Siri.
at all.
Wait. I really want to get the whole class quiet and then say, "Hey Siri," and see whose phone goes off.
No.
Hey, Siri.
All right, here we go. So the senses, except for vision, are fairly well developed at birth. So your baby can hear things, can taste things, all that stuff. The vision component doesn't come till later. When a baby is being held, it doesn't care who holds them. It doesn't care who is feeding them. It literally doesn't matter, which is why little babies get passed around easily to people. However, when we get to being the toddler age, do we care who is feeding us? Do we care who we're around? Absolutely, because our eyes are clearer and we are more attached, which is why babies are easy to just pawn off on someone on Thanksgiving. However, the toddlers are annoying as hell because they have to be with their mommy the whole damn time, correct?
Why is that?
Because they can see their parents, first of all, and they have attachment issues. Huh?
I still have attachment issues.
Your toddlers? You have toddlers?
Checking.
Babies aren't perfect. They're sleeping, eating, and pooping. That's all they're trying to do. Is that all babies want to do is sleep, eat, and poop.
So when
That's all they do. They're literally machines of poop who sleep sometimes.
So when you like hold a baby and they like, okay, so let's say like you're with the mom, and then the mom's like, hey, can you hold my baby for a second? And so like you hold the child and it immediately starts like screaming. And
How
then like
old
you give
is
it
this
back.
baby? Like
Well-
infant? I'm talking to like
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
She's saying like a newborn baby doesn't care at all.
Yeah,
Really?
newborn babies
Oh.
really don't care.
Oh, never mind.
But once I can
Because
like see
my
it,
soccer coach just had a baby, and she asked me to like
Aw.
hold it, and it hates me. But it was born like over the summer, so I'm like really
Yeah, you
confused.
just like smell bad. or something.
Aww.
Yeah, that's the reason, dude. I stink. So the
All right,
okay.
so motor milestones. Do we have those?
Okay. I just gave you a piece
Can I
of
see? PJ. Okay, you do need to know this. Oh God, I hate Erickson so much. It's so much.
The baby is gonna tie on. Look at that.
Look at that one in the middle.
Oh my gosh, that one on the top.
You do need to know. So find a place, maybe. I'm trying to. If you have room in your reflex boxes, do one of them. Make one of your reflex boxes on your study guide, motor motor milestones. So when we talk about motor milestones, you know how we talked about figuring out if a baby is mentally retarded, correct? How we figure out is if they miss these milestones. So from raising your head and your chest, like when you're lying on the carpet and you raise your head, that's supposed to happen between 2 and 4 months. A lot of parents who put their babies specifically on their stomach in order to build those muscles, because the baby has to practice before they can do it, because you have to build up that muscle. So they call it tummy time. And every day you're supposed to put your kid on the floor for an hour spread out. You can't just put the baby there and just walk away. But like you're supposed to spend an hour on the floor every single day so the baby can like try moving its head so it builds up the muscles, and it's called tummy time is what parents call it. Rolling over happens between 2 and 5, so you should be writing these down. It's raising head to chest, 2 to 4 months. Rolling over, the baby should be able to propel themselves over and from their stomach to their back between 2 and 5 months. Sitting up with support, which means like when you have like an infant baby, they're practically lying down all the time, correct? Between the ages of 4 to 6, you can put them in the little seats. They have little infant seats. They're like little buckets that have like a little weird like C kind of thing in it. That's where you put the legs to stick out. And they're high in the back, but the baby can sit there. It doesn't need to be fully supported up the back, but they can now hold themselves up because they built up their back muscles. Because if you don't have any back muscles, you're just going to fall over and the baby's just going to fall out of the seat, which means they don't have that strength. However, between 4 to 6 months they should. Sitting up without support is 6 to 7 months, where they can just sit on the carpet completely by themselves. That means they have the ab strength and the back strength to hold themselves up. Then you have crawling, 7 to 8 months, where they're able to use their back muscles and their stomach muscles, as well as built up their arm strength in order to kind of carry their body weight forward, which is a very big thing. Because once they start crawling, they're able to, this is when parents say, like, you're actually like a real parent instead of like a poopy cleaner upper. Because beforehand, the kid just sits around and poops all day. And you're just like literally just picking up poop and feeding it to make more poop. It's literally a machine. When the baby starts crawling, that's when it starts being like fun, because the baby can get into things, can start doing things. You can call the baby over and the baby's going to crawl to you. And like if you feel like you're doing more than just wiping the butt and feeding the face. That's what I've been told.
It's an easier way to like lose the baby.
It is an easier way. However, it's not until they really start walking, which is 8 to 18 months, which is a big window. Everyone does it. Sometimes some people do it fast, some people do it slow. That's when like all hell starts breaking loose, and that's when you start having kids just running everywhere, and that just seems like a nightmare.
So old people and babies are like the same.
I'm sorry.
They can't see. They have to sit up with support. Half of them can't walk.
You are so mean today. You are so mean today.
When do kids become potty trained?
Potty trained is like at like 3 or 4 years old.
3, 4.
Yeah.
Aww.
Coker, yeah, I know. You're wiping butts for a long time. Even when they get potty trained, sometimes they have accidents. You still gotta wipe their butts.
So kids that can like, they learn to walk like more quicker than other kids.
More quicker.
Quicker.
I'm trying to remember the words or whatever. Are they more athletic? More your athletic kids when you get older?
It might be. There might be a correlation to that. But I mean, no one would say Tom Brady is an athletic specimen. I mean, have you seen the man run? You know what I mean? But I mean, he's been a late developer. I mean, think about who's this stupid quarterback from Florida? What's his face? I hate the kid.
Oh, Trayvon Harris?
No. The actual good one who brought them to Florida, not FSU.
When? What time period?
Tebow.
Oh my God.
Tebow.
I knew that.
Tebow, he was a preemie when he was born, so he was super behind on everything, and he was pretty scrawny even through high school, because he went to the high school that I did some of my internship at, and like they have like a shrine to the kid.
Nice.
Anyway, why do you know that?
She's like magical.
We played them
Ah,
in the state championship the year after he left.
He's a great human being.
That's
Great
great.
guy.
Anyway, small kid. However, it was developmentally a little bit behind because he was preemie. Obviously, the man caught up. Can we agree?
He's huge.
Yeah, it's huge now. So it may be not mine. May I answer this? It's my vet.
Yeah.
Yes. How's Toby?
You
Hello?
looked at me. Why'd you look at me?
Yes,
Oh,
this is
okay.
her.
You have this on recording.
Good, how are you? Perfect, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Turkey Day.
Yay.
It's the nicest you've ever been. Why can't you
What
give
happened
us
with
that
Toby?
pleasure, Miss Bennett?
Toby is going to daycare tonight till Monday evening because I'm going to New Orleans. So we had to make sure Toby was good to go for all that stuff. Yeah.
We gave away my dog recently.
Oh my God.
Well, we gave it to our cousins.
Oh. All right.
Why would you say that?
Immunizations. Here we go. Immunizations are far less dangerous than the diseases they prevent. Ladies and gentlemen,
It gives you.
it could be.
Nope.
No, don't you dare. Okay, it is important that you understand that vaccines do not cause autism. You need to vaccinate your kids. It may be illegal for you people by 2030, because that's when you're going to start thinking about having kids. Because you'll be how old and then?
30?
I think that's
Yeah.
20, 30?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be
29,
29, 30. I think that's
I'm
good.
having a kid on
Ew, gross.
Ew, Jude.
Gross.
If I'm married,
Ew, at 20? Ew.
I don't know. I mean, how was a joke?
You still
Yeah.
need to
Cousin
be
got
able
married
to
at
drink.
22.
My mom had her for kids.
He's not the one carrying the baby.
Oh my God. He still has to raise the baby, and we've already.
Out for 9 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that get brought up?
No, I said like you would like
Because
if he's
then we
20,
just
like
learned
the
that
legal
development
age,
Yeah.
age to drink is 21. So
So
why would
if
you have a
I'm
kid
married,
before
if I'm
you're
married,
able to
if I'm
drink?
married, my wife wants to have a kid, I'd say no. Miss Ben said no.
There you go. Thank
No,
you.
Miss
Think
Bennett.
about it.
Said no.
Think about it. If she gets pregnant when they're 20, then when he's 21, then the baby will come. So you got a whole almost 9 months. He got 9 months.
Scholar at it again.
But you wouldn't be
He's
able
smart,
to drink
man.
because
Yes, he
he's
would.
not.
He had when he was
I'm
20
getting ready
and
to
4
read.
months.
Look at that.
And
We
the
got
baby
our
was
recording.
born
So,
Yeah,
like
but he
9
wouldn't
months
be able to
later.
drink the entire time his wife would be pregnant. If he has a
People
wife,
not
if he
drink
just like
before
knocks someone up and like,
Huh?
but like I'm just saying, like
Like,
he wouldn't be able
Do you
to.
not drink before you're 21?
No, no one drinks before they're
I've
21.
No.
never-
We are moving forward. This has been
I've never
sidetracked
seen me at a
into
party.
world.
At a party,
Immunization.
I have a twin.
Hi, we're not
okay, I have
including
somebody
any of
that's
this.
just
Are you
like
done?
me.
Are you done?
Yeah. I'm
Perfect. Immunizations are really important. By the time you have kids in 2030, that it could be required by federal law to have your kids go to public schools. You have to have all of your immunizations right now. It's highly suggested. It's not forced by law. It probably will be forced by law. Because people are, the reason why you get immunization and vaccines is not to save you necessarily. It's to help kids who absolutely can't get them, like kids who had cancers, diseases, who had issues during pregnancy, birth, all that stuff, who are born with all these things. They can't get vaccines because their body can't naturally fight. What happens is when you get a vaccine, they inject you with
A little bit of
The disease.
malaria or whatever the vaccine is, and then your body fights it off, so then it knows how to attack it if you ever are exposed to it. That's the whole point of it. People who had cancer, had chemo, had all these other different things, blood diseases, all those stuff, they can't tolerate the vaccines. It would kill them. So we, as healthy people, get the vaccines in order to protect the weakest among us from getting those diseases. Because people are not getting the vaccines, because some people think vaccines cause autism,
There's just, I don't know who that would be.
because Jenny McCarthy said it, Jesus. There is science after science after science proving it's complete BS. However, some people aren't doing it. Because people aren't doing it, people are getting polio, which we eradicated in the
Well, there's a cure
19
for it.
teens.
Yeah, there's a cure for polio, right?
Yeah, the vaccine.
Oh, poor girls about it.
Okay, they were getting. We're getting Spanish flu again. For God's sake, we're getting a bunch of crazy diseases we've eradicated over 100 years ago because people aren't getting vaccinated.
What's one of the mosquitoes?
Actually, there's a breakout in
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Yeah.
right now with the bubonic plague. Jesus. Anyway, with that being said, the reasons why we get vaccines is not necessarily for us. It's to protect the weakest among us. And those are weak immune systems because of cancer diseases and whatever else. So, if you don't get your kids vaccinated, screw you. Because you're literally hurting society and we're getting these funky diseases for no reason. And it's true, they're coming back. And that's the thing. So you need to vaccinate your damn kids. Look at the science. There's no proof to back up any of this whole autism crap. In the state of California, it's illegal you cannot attend public school without your vaccines. And the courts have supported it. A couple parents took the school systems to court, and the courts have said they're a liability to the rest of the population. So, times may change by the time you have kids, but I will tell you right now, you better vaccinate your kids. There's plenty of science to support it. It's all crap. Do it. Cool. Cognitive development. We're getting into PJ here. Here we go. So, cognitive development is the development of thinking, problem solving, memory, scheme, and the mental concept. How much time do I have?
You're till 52.
3 minutes.
Okay, well, this is the last thing we're doing. Cognitive development is the thinking, problem solving, and memory scheme, plural schemes, and mental concepts formed through experiences, objects, and events. So, and we'll start PJ on Monday, which I love PJ. I have like the greatest video of all time.
Is it one of your like
Little
this is
kids.
such a great video, and it's like
Is it
from
a
like 20 years ago?
It's an older one.
We should watch Bill.
That doesn't mean it's not good.
I know, but they're just not as.
You watch a brain pop video?
I don't know what that is. Have you watched his new Netflix show?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, I knew he asked me for that.
What is it about?
He was on Shark.
Science and politics.
He's very political.
Very
Yeah.
political now. Which is fine. I mean, as a scientist, pretty much all scientists have been motivated to action at this point.
I watched one of his like debates. Which was like this famous like geologist. Which is really interesting.
Who doesn't believe in climate change?
No, it was about like the aspect of like religion.
Can I just stay in here?
Yeah.
As I'm taking my test. It's really hot
What am I
here.
gonna do for a whole week without you, Miss Bennett?